Hi there. I'm so glad that you're joining me for this video uncovering your personal story PI style. I am the Lady Boss owner of The Right Place, Right Time, and also a writer myself. I'm the author of Dear Universe, I Get It Now, Letters on the Art and Journey of Being Brave and Being Me. And today I want to talk to you about uncovering your personal story as a PI. So a lot of people come to me and they work with me and they realize that they have this thing that they want to say. They're pretty sure they want to write a book. They're pretty sure they've got the story to tell. But what is it about really? It's like it's fuzzy. It's right there on the edges and they have no idea how to dig in and really determine what exactly the theme is or the underlying thread of this book. Now, for me with Dear Universe, the title of the book came to me before anything else. And so I could see the title, I could see the cover, and yet I didn't really know what this book wanted to be. And it wanted to be something because it appeared to me as a certain, tangible object that I could envision, but I didn't know, okay, well, what's the meat that makes up this book that apparently wants to be called Dear Universe? But with curiosity and space and letting that idea kind of percolate and going about my day with it rolling around in the back of my mind, it eventually made itself known. Now, a lot of writing, I think, is really done in our heads because there's a lot of creation and vision that happens before we actually sit down to write and put anything on the page. So what I want to suggest is that we go after our writing, we go after that idea that we kind of know is there but has no clarity, and we go after that like a private investigator. So I'm going to veer off topic here just for a minute. I am a geek over Hunt a Killer. That's that subscription box set where you get to basically solve crime and figure out who the murderer was. Okay. So despite my cheery and joyful disposition, I have a dark side. So Hunt a Killer really gets to me because I love that it's a huge puzzle. I love that I get to dig in with the characters. I get to dig in with the story. I get to look at artifacts. I get to, peel back layers and search for clues. I'm looking for information and I'm looking for theories and hypotheses. I'm asking questions like, well, what would that person have been thinking? Would they have really acted like that? What is that do with this other piece that I read over here? How are these things connected? Well, what if this happened? What if that happened? What if the character had responded in some other way? What am I supposed to gain from knowing or seeing or feeling this one piece of the story? And that's really what it is for me. It's a process of digging through all of this material and figuring out who did it, right? Who did it? To me, writing a story is very similar. You're looking at this idea that's kind of soft and rough on the edges from an outside perspective. You're trying to kind of step away from it as a third-party observer and ask a bunch of questions. Get curious about it, digging in with the details, following a trail until all of a sudden you go, ah, this is it, right? It's why part of my writing process is looking at old notes that I left for myself, journals that I've written, photographs that I've kept. I'm kind of like, I've archived my own life and all of these tangible things. And now I have them to go back and kind of like look at with a new lens, with that curiosity, that private investigator eye that I'm talking about. And I write a lot of stuff down. I write like, when I'm playing Hunt a Killer, I'm writing down, well, maybe it's this person and here's why. Oh, I have a new question because I just answered the last question, but now I've got something new that I really want to kind of try to discover. And when you're writing, you should be doing the same thing. It doesn't have to be long sentences at first. You don't need to just jump into drafting, right? It can just be things that are coming to mind that you can be jotting down until all of a sudden you look down on the page one day and you go, there it is, that resonates. And somewhere in all of that investigating, all of that culling material, digging into details, looking at it in new ways, asking new questions, somewhere in there lies the answer. But you have to be willing to not know right away. You have to be able to have multiple ideas before you settle on one. This whole thing of uncovering a story is a process. It's not an immediate knowing. Clarity is born out of the digging. So grab your magnifying glass, your pipe, your PI hat, okay, and go exploring. Dig in. I promise that somewhere in all of that, your personal story is just waiting to be found.